block. Right. So long, Ed.
I'm back.
So I see.
You didn't like it. You didn't like Freddie's play.
It's great. Right up to where it says, the curtain rises.
You don't like it because Freddie wrote it. That's what it all boils down to.
Listen, Margie, it takes a very special talent to write a good play, and Freddie just doesn't have it, that's all.
I think he's got a lot of talent.
Of a kind, yes. But he's the only young man I've ever heard of that got fired from 5 different jobs the same week. Now, I'm not going to argue with you about it. Why did you want me to read it anyway?
Because I heard you say you expected to land George Shuck as a client. Dad, Mr. Shuck's one of the biggest producers on Broadway. If you gave him Freddie's play, he'd be sure to read it.
Oh, so that's why Freddie became a playwright practically overnight.
All right, Mr. Critic. Exactly what's wrong with it?
What's wrong with it? Well, let's start with the title. Girl Against the World. Now, there's a title that really challenges the imagination. Here's a kid who isn't just struggling against a small town or a big city. She's fighting the whole world.
Well, never mind the title. What's wrong with the play?
Well, let's take a look at this. Office note. Girl Against the World is the heartwarming story of Gwendolyn Lovequist. Gwendolyn Lovequist. I'll give Freddie this much credit. If any girl is going to be against the whole world, it seems natural that her name would be Gwendolyn Lovequist.
You were biased before you got past the first page.
Well, let me continue the office note. The heartwarming story of Gwendolyn Lovequist, typical American girl, disowned by her rich father, her struggle to reform her grandmother from a life of shoplifting, and her delinquent cousin Donald from a life in pool halls and dark alleys. Incidentally, I thought the dialogue was delightful in the scene where the delinquent stuffed the rich boy down the sewer.
All right, Dad, make fun of it, but you'll see. You don't like it just because Freddie wrote it, but somebody'll like it. That play's got feeling, movement, and twists. Freddie's got a mind that thinks in twists.
Oh, agreed. Freddie has a twisted mind.
That's the 15th rejection so far. They just won't give a beginner a break.
Thanks for letting us read your script. Unfortunately, Mr. Kaufman, who passes on all material before submitting it to Mr. Schubert, said he just didn't feel it.
Why do they all have to say the same thing? Why couldn't one of them just feel it even if he didn't like it?
Somehow the characters and situations do not seem believable. Thanks again, however, and keep trying.
Rah, rah. All but one said it was unbelievable, and he said it lacked verisimilitude. I looked up verisimilitude. Means the same thing. Unbelievable. I'm disgusted.
Yoo-hoo! Margie!
Come on in, Mrs. Odetts.
Freddie, I'm glad you're here. I've read it, and I think it's just wonderful.
You do?
See? Mrs. Odetts likes it, and I like it. It's just a matter of time, Freddie.
Time? If those producers only knew how a guy like me has to struggle while he's waiting for his break. Week after week, month after month, back and forth, to and from. Hot weather, cold weather, rainy weather, snowy weather. I wonder if any of them ever had to go to the unemployment office.
This is outrageous. What do they think they're doing to the youth of this nation?
Take it easy, Mrs. Odetts.
I won't take it easy. I'm fighting mad. The same blood runs in my veins as in the veins of those valiant men at Valley Forge. Forward, men. Charge. And all those brave Odetts fell, never even knowing the British had lost.
They would have been so proud.
Proud of what? They were British. Are you going to take this lying down? On your feet.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
I'm fighting mad.
Mrs. Odetts, you're too old to get excited like this.
What do you mean, old? I'm only 82.
But at 82, you could go just like that.
So who wants to go out slow?
Don't worry, Mrs. Odetts. How do you get a break?
Those producers just don't have any foresight. If one of them could see it put on a stage, then they'd understand it. But you can't get it on a stage. It's disgusting.
Maybe they're right. Maybe it is unbelievable.
Supposing one of those producers saw Girl Against the World come to life before his very eyes, not on a stage, but in a real-life setting.
I don't get it.
You mean real people acted out as though it were really happening?
Exactly.
But who would the actors be? Where would it take place?
Margie, I've always wanted to be an actress, and that grandmother part is right up my alley.
You?
That's right. And you're the image of Gwendolyn, my dear Margie. How does that sound to you, delinquent nephew?
Margie, is she kidding?
So my father wouldn't give it to George Shuck to read, huh? Well, I'll just find out where he lives, then what?
Then, my dear Gwendolyn, you happen to be at the right spot at the right time, and Mr. Shuck watches as the curtain goes up.
Mr. Harris calls. Tell him I'll be back in an hour. What's the trouble, young lady?
You're so young.
Huh?
It's nothing. I'm just a little weak, that's all. I'll be all right.
Here, you come in my office. I'll get a doctor.
No, if I can just get home, I'll be all right.
Sure. Now, don't you worry about a thing. My car's right outside.
Oh, you're so kind. What's your name? I want to remember it always.
George Shuck. What's yours?
I am Gwendolyn Lovequist.
Gwendolyn Lovequist.
Please get me home. I feel that the city has me walled in. All this steel and concrete. Eyes peering at me from every side. Do they know who I am? Do they care who I am? Does anyone care? I'll give you the answer, Mr. Shuck. Nobody cares. I'm alone in my struggle, alone. A girl against the world. You're so kind. Thanks for bringing me home.
Home? Miss Lovequist,
Please call me Gwendolyn.
Gwendolyn, you've got to let me help you.
Oh, no. I'm poor but proud. I must solve my problems alone. I meant to warn you about that. It falls every time the door is closed.
Oh, I'll put it up for you.
Thank you.
You seem so weak. Are you sure you've been getting enough to eat?
Getting enough to eat? Of course.
It just doesn't seem possible that you can't get some kind of a job during these times.
Sooner or later, they all find out about my grandmother and cousin. They don't want me working for them.
Grandmother? Cousin?
Grandmother, this is Mr. Shuck.
How do you do?
Pleased to meet you.
Don't forget to give me a sheepish look. Grandmother, where were you today and what were you doing?
I went for a walk in the park. Nothing else.
Oh, Grandmother, and you promised you wouldn't ever again.
What'd she do?
She's been shoplifting again. I can tell by her look.
I failed you again, Gwendolyn. I failed you. Oh, please don't turn me out in the cold.
I won't turn you out, Grandmother.
Oh, thank you, thank you. You're so kind, you're so gentle.
Disowned by my own father. His daughter and his dear old mother turned out like dogs.
What kind of a man is your father, anyway?
Rich, but with a heart of stone.
But there are laws for heels like that. He can be forced to support you. Why don't you take him to court?
We couldn't do that. You see, he's... Grandmother, you tell him.
Huh? I don't even like to talk about it. You tell him, Gwendolyn.
We couldn't take him to court because Because we don't know where he is. You see, he changed his name, disappeared, left no trace at all. I wonder where Cousin Donald is.
Yes, where is Cousin Donald?
Cousin Donald should be home by now. Cousin Donald, this is Mr. Shuck.
How are you?
Hello yourself.
Donald, put the bed up.
Get lost, get lost.
I'll do it, Gwendolyn.
Thank you. Donald, what are you hiding?
Nothing. Mind your own business.
You've been stealing hubcaps again.
So what? Hit the road. Get lost. I ought to belt you one.
I'd like to see you try it. Now I see what you're up against, Gwendolyn. And you've got to let me help you out.
We cannot accept charity.
I think I've got it. And you've at least got to give it a try.
What is it?
Now, you just leave everything to me. I think you're going to like what I've got in mind.
Well,
Now, it isn't charity, but I think it'll really help. And it'll help you keep an eye on your grandmother and your cousin, too. You know, you're very pretty. Very pretty.
Thanks, Mr. Shuck.
Hit the road. Get lost. Get lost.
Mind your own business, Cousin Donald.
I'll see you tomorrow morning.
Bye.
Listen, Gwendolyn, stick to the script.
If you want to sell your play, we've got to go along with him.
The plan is working perfectly. He is certainly interested in the plot.
Yeah. Now let somebody say my characters are unbelievable.
I wonder what's on his mind for tomorrow.
Yeah. I wonder.
Well, how do you like it?
I don't understand.
It's all yours, Gwendolyn.
Mine?
Now, it isn't charity. I bought it, but you can pay me back as you go along. Donald, this is your department. A few weeks of shining shoes, and you'll forget all about hubcaps. Now, I'll drop by ever so often to see that you two are cooperating with Gwendolyn. And if you don't, I may report a couple of things I know to the police.
That ought to fix things pretty well.
The place is fully stocked and ready to go. You can start cooking. I'll check back later.
Bye. And thanks a million.
See you later.
What about my play? If Cousin Donald and dear old grandmother continue to steal, he goes to the police.
Holy mackerel! This place! We aren't more than a block and a half from my father's office.
Good heavens, it gets worse every second. You and your bright ideas.
My idea? You're the one who thought it up.
I can't tolerate a young man who would listen to such a ridiculous suggestion from an 82-year-old woman.
Arguing isn't going to help. We've got to think. What if my father sees us?
Oh, well, there's no worry about that, Margie. Why, there isn't one chance in 1,000 that... Look!
1 in 1,000, and here he comes. Quick, Freddie, drop the awning. Come on, Mrs. Odetts.
Hiya, Joe.
Joe ain't here no more.
Oh, I knew he was thinking about selling out. My name is Albright. If you do a job as good as Joe, you've got a regular customer.
Swell.
Doesn't that hat go down a little too far on your head?
Can't be helped. I got a small forehead.
Your voice sounds familiar. Who are you? Freddie!
I thought I recognized these feet.
Oh, what are you doing here? Who runs this place?
I'm working here, Mr. Albright.
Hello, Mr. Albright.
I was just cleaning my floor.
You're running this place?
Yes, I thought it would be a nice little investment. And besides that, I felt sorry for poor Freddie never being able to keep a job. Isn't this nice?
Freddie, I'm proud of you, and I'm glad you've given up foolish things like that play of yours and have settled down to real honest work.
Thanks, Mr. Albright.
And to you, Mrs. Odetts, all I can say is you're a good woman, an amazing woman. A woman of your age starting out into business. This is how America works, the American way. People helping each other, working together. And many successful businessmen started out as shoeshine boys, Freddie, my lad. Oh, this is truly America.
You sound like a full-color ad for Fortune magazine.
There's nothing as American as a hot dog, Mrs. Odetts, so give me a hot dog.
Oh, forgive me, Mr. Albright. I'm very nervous. You're our first customer. I'll cook it for you.
America.
New people, huh? Well, this is on my route, so I might just as well serve you as I did the others, okay?
Yes, of course.
See you tomorrow.
You might as well finish with my shine, Freddie, while I'm waiting for my hot dog. Delicious. Keep the change. America.
All the times for a man to become patriotic.
I thought he'd never leave between eating that hot dog and reciting the Gettysburg Address.
Hello, everybody. I told you I'd be dropping in. Gwendolyn, what happened?
Something got to be done about the cooling system around here.
Yes?
Mr. Shuck to see you, sir.
I'll send him in. How do you do, Mr. Shuck? It's nice to see you in person.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Albright.
Sorry we haven't been able to get together before, but I've been rather busy.
Oh, it's just as well. I've been taking care of a little personal matter myself.
Uh-huh. Mr. Honeywell tells me that you read our brochure, and we're about to have the pleasure of handling your account.
That's just about it, Mr. Albright. Now, my attorney has prepared a breakdown of the various funds I...
That's my daughter. Is there something wrong?
You ought to be horsewhipped. My God! You think I'd have any dealings with you? Of all the contemptible, low-down, rotten heels I've ever met, you win the prize.
Is there something that you read in the brochure?
Don't play innocent with me. I know all about you changing your name. You've got it coming, and I'm going to give it to you.
Why, this is ridiculous.
This is for your poor old mother.
This is no way to conduct business.
Do you know what you've done? Do you know what's happened to your mother's life? Do you know or care where your little daughter is?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Struggling to make a living in a little hot dog stand.
My daughter?
Oh, of course you assume she was in some swank apartment with all the luxuries. Well, you low-down heel. Your pathetic old mother, your nephew, and your poor but proud daughter eating a crust of bread and a glass of water for dinner.
My daughter?
She's good. She's good all the way through. And you're through ducking your responsibilities because I'm going to bring this out in the open. Tomorrow morning's papers are going to shout the fact that your daughter is Gwendolyn Lovequist.
Gwendolyn Lovequist? For crying out loud. Do me a favor. Let me show you something. Just read the first paragraph. That's all I ask.
Girl against the world. This is the story of Gwendolyn Lovequist and her grandmother from a life of shoplifting What is this?
It's a would-be play. My daughter asked me to give it to you, but apparently the Margie Small Stock Company already has it on the road.
Now I've heard of everything.
Tell me something. I've read the darn thing. How did that hamburger bit sneak in there?
That was my contribution. $3,500.
Oh, I'll buy it from you, Mr. Shuck. I'll do anything to make it up to you. But you've got to do me a favor. We've got to teach that girl a lesson.
Girl against the world. Poor but proud. I'm with you, Mr. Albright. We'll really give this Gwendolyn Lovequist something to worry about.
Hi, Margie.
Hi, Dad.
Have you heard about Mrs. Odetts going into business and Freddie working with her?
Oh, yes, they told me.
I'll get it.
So you're the rat I was going to do business with.
George.
Well, who are you?
I'm George Shuck, the man who was going to be your client. Get in there. This is going to be a showdown. Gwendolyn, you should never have come back to this monster.
Margie, what's this all about?
Oh, George, wait, please. My father isn't the way you think he is.
Don't try to protect him, Gwendolyn.
Margie, what have you done?
George, stop. Let me explain. It was just an act.
This is the most repulsive thing I've ever heard of. It's gotten under my skin. No court on earth would condemn me to death for it, but I've got my own sense of justice.
No!
That's not what I said. I'm telling the truth.
I'm gonna blow your head off.
Oh, no, George! Stop it! Stop it!
Oh, Margie, you saw it. We struggled. The gun went off. Oh, I didn't mean to do it.
Oh, no, Dad, no.
They'll walk me down that last mile. Oh, the little green door. They'll never believe it was an accident.
Oh, Dad, I didn't mean to cause you any trouble. I was just trying to sell Freddie's play. Oh, what can we do? Oh, what can we do? It's all my fault. All my fault. I'm the guilty one, Dad. You're not going to pay for my crime. My fingerprints will be on the gun. And a full confession. Now I have to say goodbye, Dad. Forgive me and remember me kindly. Goodbye.
Where'd she go?
She went out on the balcony. Margie! Margie! Margie!
You called? Sorry, fellas, but in the play, Gwendolyn triumphs in the end.
Our little revision okay? Well, what's a play without a kiss at the final curtain?
Well, if you'll excuse me, I guess I'll go and check the box office.
How long are we gonna keep this up? And where's Margie?
Oh, stop complaining and use a little more elbow grease.